Hi, I'm Caley Alyssa, and you found yourself at 30 Days of Mindful Movement on Alo Yoga's YouTube channel. For the next 4 weeks, myself and 6 other amazing Alo Yoga instructors will be guiding you through different yoga practices. These practices will help you to set intentions and to move into the new year with grace and ease. Make sure to subscribe to Alo Yoga's YouTube channel and to comment below and let us know if you're joining us. For this first class, we're going to be setting intentions. Intentions are a really interesting thing. This is kind of a buzzword, and there's a lot of hype around the new year and intention setting. Oftentimes, we can set intentions that we don't necessarily carry out, and then we get down on ourselves, and then there's whole guilt and punishment and all these other things wrapped around it. So the purpose of this specific intention setting is to get rid of all of that stuff, the guilt, the shame, the not reaching your New Year's goals, whatever it might be the case. Right now, I want to talk about how your intentions can be aligned with your actions and how you know that you're on the right path, as well as the importance of being aware of the constantly changing and constantly evolving beings that we truly are. So our thoughts happen all of the time. Thousands of thoughts every minute and between every minute. And it's a really hard thing to monitor our thoughts. However, our thoughts create our reality. And when we have an emotion behind a thought, it's even more powerful and more likely to occur. Now, that can happen for better or for worse. If you're constantly worried about something happening, and you keep thinking about that thing happening, it could be the smallest thing, like you're afraid that you're going to get a speeding ticket because you're constantly late, running all over town from thing to thing to thing to thing. And you're just constantly worried about, oh, I hope I don't get a ticket today. I hope I'm not caught today. You're actually putting that thought into the universe. And when you keep thinking about it and keep worrying about it and keep picturing that scenario potentially happening in your head, it probably will happen. Now, it also happens for the better. If you're thinking, I want that brand new, beautiful red car, and you're constantly picturing yourself driving in this car and really just like having the most amazing experience and picturing it moving down the road with ease and in safety and feeling abundance in your life that you're capable of purchasing that car or leasing the car, whatever the experience might be for you, then that will happen. Now, if you're just dreaming about this and there's no real emotion behind it, it might take much longer to happen. But if you have so much emotion behind it, you're so attached to this intention, you're so attached to this dream happening, then it will happen on a much faster rate, on a much faster level. So it's really important to tune in to our emotions and to become aware of the emotions that are happening in our body, because these emotions are our indicator if we're on the right path or not. So when you're feeling really good about something, you're in line. Your actions and your intentions are aligned with each other, and your intention is that much more likely to happen. When you're feeling not so good and you have a ball in the pit of your stomach, or you're anxious, you're shaking, you're nervous about something, whatever the case is, then you know that your actions and your intentions might not necessarily be in line, and you need to shift direction or veer off course. So for this intention setting together, we're going to be tuning in with our emotional systems, our indicating systems, and using a meditation in order to do that. So meditating is a really beautiful part of yoga practice. It helps not only to clear out the clutter and the craziness of what's happening in our head, but it also helps us to tune in from a gross level, right? This physical, very gross muscle and bone and ligament and tendons of the body into a more subtle level. And that subtle level is the energetic system of the body and the emotional being that we have inside of this gross physical being. And so this is really a beautiful part of the yoga practice, that initially we might come to the practice for the physical elements. We can see the results, we can feel the strength of our body, we get more flexible. All of these benefits are amazing. But then there's the other benefits, these more energetic benefits and perhaps even spiritual benefits, whatever that means for you. And so at the end of every practice, when we bring our palms together and we bow to each other, This is a moment for us to be receptive and to acknowledge all of those benefits of the practice. And knowing that that's oftentimes why we get hooked to yoga is because there's such a depth and so much more to the practice than just the physical. So this intention-setting experience that we're going to have today is shifting our practice from the physical to the more emotional, spiritual, energetic beings that we truly are. And so I want you to have a journal handy, because after we come out of our meditation and we get really clear, we declutter the mind and we can focus into our energetic system and really feel into our true intentions, what they are currently, and remember, they might shift. And then we're going to take those true intentions in this moment and make sure that we put emotion behind them and action behind them. Your actions can determine your emotions. Your emotions can also determine your actions. So if you're in a really bad emotional place, you can take an action to change your emotion and bring you into a good place. Also, noticing what's going on emotionally is just a really good barometer for, again, where you're at and if you're aligned and if you're heading in the right direction. So just remembering, actions determine emotions and emotions determine actions. So you have the power to change either way, wherever you find yourself. It's a very powerful tool. Now, for this meditation that we're going to be doing together, I want you to make sure that you're in a really comfortable place. So I'm sitting on my sticky mat here, but if you have tight hips, you might need to elevate your hips or put blocks underneath your knees, or maybe just roll up blankets or extra pillows under the knees. You could also sit on a chair or a bolster. Just make sure that you're not lying down, because I want you to stay really aware and really present to the sensations in your body. When we can tune into our sensations in the body, it really helps us to check in on an energetic level and get more aligned with the emotions of the body. So this is going to be a meditation that's focused on the sensations happening throughout the physical being. I'm going to guide you through this so you don't have to do it alone. And if the word meditation is scary for you, don't worry. This is going to be a really short, really simple, guided meditation. So you don't have to think about the time. You don't have to think about what you're going to do. All you have to think about is just being aware and trying to remain still. So you'll notice sensations coming up for you that are pleasant, and you'll notice sensations coming up for you that might be unpleasant, like an itching or a scratching or a cramp, or maybe your leg starts to go numb and your foot tingles, whatever the case may be. I want you to remember that these sensations are all impermanent, that we're going to be doing a very short meditation. And so whatever the case might be for you, if the sensation is unpleasant, just try not to react to it. For instance, if you have an itch on your nose, don't automatically reach up and scratch your nose. See if you can sit there for a moment or two, feel that itch, feel the sensation actually happening on the nose or in the nose or whatever it is, without reacting to it, without responding to it. And eventually that sensation will go away. Now, the same is true for a pleasant sensation. If you perhaps feel maybe a tingling or the pulsing, the beating of your heart, and you start to feel that vibration move throughout your entire body, and all of a sudden you're just in this really beautiful space, and then you want to stay in that space, and so you keep trying to recreate the sensation and cling to that feeling, and then you're in a very scary place as well, because you get addicted to that pleasant sensation and you're trying to recreate it. And then every time you sit down on your mat or your bolster to meditate going forward, you're going to try to have that experience again, and you're not going to get it every time. So then you're going to put yourself in a negative loop. Oh, I got it that one time meditating. Why can't I do it again? And why isn't it lasting as long? And all of these things, all of these clinging and attachment to this first amazing experience that you were able to create. So it's really important to remember, whether it's good or bad or positive or negative or, whatever the case might be, try not to attach or cling to those things. Try not to react to those things. Try to remain just completely constant. Whether it's good or whether it's bad, you are right in the middle. You are aware, you are present to the sensation happening in your body, but you're not reacting to it. In other words, you're an observer, you're a witness. So I like to think of myself as a scientist in this case, doing an experiment. I'm becoming present and I'm becoming aware to the reaction that's happening, but I'm not tinkering with it. I'm letting it happen and unfold all on its own, and I'm recording the results. It's as simple as that. So we have our little journals to record our results with. So we're scientists heading into an experiment together. So I also am going to recommend, whatever way you're seated, if you have your legs crossed like me, just go ahead and switch so you're not in the habitual cross of the legs. Just switch things up a little bit. And we're going to move right into this meditation together. So hands can be face up if you need a little bit more energy, if you're feeling tired or slow or sluggish. Or hands could be face down if you're feeling chaotic and frantic and jittery. If you've had coffee and no food, hands down. All right, and then sit up really tall. And just allow your eyes to close. And with your eyes closed, we'll take a deep breath in through the nose. And then part your lips and exhale out from the mouth. And then just allow your lips to close, and your breath is going to happen all on its own. So it'll be a very natural rhythm with your breathing. An ebb and flow of the inhale and exhale. So you're not controlling the breath in any way. Now with your eyes closed, I want you to see if you can bring your awareness, your attention, to the very crown of your head, the top of the head. And as you focus on that top of the head, see if you could notice sensation in that space. So sensation could be maybe feeling tightness, maybe tingling, maybe an itching or scratching. You could feel warmth or coolness, dryness or moisture. Maybe you're unable to experience any sensation. Maybe it's just bringing your awareness to that crown of the head and holding your awareness in that space. Now draw your awareness from the crown of your head into the face. So the forehead, the temples, the cheeks, the nose, the lips, and the chin. And as you bring your awareness into your face, just notice if you can feel any sensation there. Now, it could be as simple as feeling the little hairs on the upper lip move as you breathe in and breathe out. Just noticing what is, not creating something that doesn't already exist. And then drawing that awareness down into the neck. The front, the back, the sides of the neck simultaneously. Feeling any sensation that might arise for you in that space. And noticing too areas that you can't feel at all. And again, just being aware of that, not judging it in any way. And then drawing your awareness down into the shoulders. The front of the shoulders, the top, the shoulder blades on the back body. Being aware of any sensation that you can feel in both shoulders. And then moving that awareness into the upper arms, biceps, triceps. And if you're not able to feel any sensation, maybe it's just experiencing your shirt against the skin. Moving that awareness into the elbows. And then into the lower arms. into the wrists, into the palms, and then into all 10 fingers. And then drawing your awareness into your torso, the upper back, and the front of the chest, your sternum, your breastplate. Maybe you can feel the pulsing of the heart. Maybe you can feel tension in muscles, tingling sensation. Just noticing. And then moving that awareness down into the mid-back and the mid-torso, the rib cage and the belly. Into the lower back and the pelvic floor. The sex organs and the hips. The glutes. And the upper thigh. Hamstrings, quadriceps. Noticing any sensation that might be coming up for you. And then moving your awareness into the knees, the front and the back of the knees. Into the lower leg, the shin and the calf muscles. Moving into the ankles. The arches of the feet and the tops of the feet. And all 10 of your toes. And then imagine that you could take energy and move it from your toes through your entire body, up and out the crown of the head. Imagine this wave of energy, like a tingling or a pulsing sensation, moving from the toes, through the feet, through the lower legs, into the knees and the upper legs, into the hips, into the low back, throughout the torso, mid-back, upper back, front of the chest, your fingertips and the hands, the lower arm and upper arm and shoulder, through the neck, the face, the back of the head, and up and out through the very crown of your head. And if you can take this energy and roll it from the crown of the head back to the toes, and the toes back to the crown of the head a couple of times on your own, imagine it like a wave of energy moving through the body. And next time you get to the very crown of your head, hold your awareness in that space, imagining all your energy moving from there, up, out, expanding around you like it could create an orb, a little circle, a protective shield around your body. And then taking a deep breath in, fill all the way up. Part your lips, exhale out from the mouth. Keep your eyes closed. Bring the palms of your hands together. Rub them together to create some friction, some heat. And then take that heat and transfer it. Cover your eyes with your hands. And then slowly peel your hands away and blink your eyes to open. Okay, so I'm going to have you go ahead and take your legs out in front of you and just shake out your legs, massage them if they went dead. If they're tingling at all, massage your feet. Okay, just be sure that you're taking care of your body. You can move around, you can shake it out. So for those of you who have never meditated before, that might have been very challenging. And again, I don't want you to judge the experience you just had because it was perfect, exactly as it was. And there's always something to learn from each and every experience. So if you felt your mind was just chaotic and it was really hard to focus on the sensations in your body, that's okay. That just means that you have a lot of stuff bubbling up from your subconscious that you need to process. And meditation is a really good space to process that. It allows everything to come up, we move through it, and then we can clear it all out of our subconscious. And then we have space to drop in and to really hone into those sensations. And the sensations are, again, what help us to connect to our emotion. And with our emotion and action combined, our intentions will happen. So now that we're in a little bit more of a clear space, I'm going to have you take your journals or a piece of paper or the notes section of your cell phone, whatever it is that you have handy. And we're going to do two things. The first thing is to just write about the experience you just had. Were there any dead zones in your body that you really just couldn't feel into, that you couldn't even be aware of sensation in those areas? You know, the back body, the tip of the nose, whatever it was. Write about your experience physically with the sensations and mentally what happened with your mind. Like you're a scientist recording your sort of notes from the experiment. So that's number one. Take the next minute or two just to write down all of your experiences with that meditation. And then when you're done, come right back to us. So you can just pause the video and write down. I'm going to do a couple things on my own here about my experience just now. And I'm just going to write down a couple of words to remind myself of my experience that I can come back and fill it in later. Okay. Now, if you need more time, just pause the video and keep going. It'd be ideal to take more time than that. So the second thing we're going to do is actually set our intentions. And so this can be a little bit scary or, again, give you apprehension or, we have that automatic sense of, oh gosh, whatever I set, I really have to accomplish because if I don't, I'm going to feel guilty and there'll be shame and all that other stuff. So we're going to just set that to the side with the reminder that we are constantly evolving, constantly changing beings, and that we are here to create. We are here to evolve. We are here to learn. So there's no shame, there's no guilt in whatever the intentions are if they're manifested or not in your life. But there is the knowing that you are creating your experience, right? So if they are manifested or not manifested, that was your doing, whether if it was conscious or unconscious, whether if it was in default mood or present aware mode. So take out your journals and just take a moment to write down whatever your intentions might be. Now, it could be for the next 30 days. It could be for this entire new year. Some ideas to help you get flowing are, what direction do you want to head in? What bridges do you want to mend? What experiences do you want to have? What relationships do you want to cultivate? These are really broad questions that you can ask yourself to help you find what your intentions might be in this moment. So take the next minute or two to ask yourself those questions or other questions and come up with a few intentions. Maybe it's 1, maybe it's 3. I'd say no more than 5 intentions, because then you have too many ideas to send out into the universe, and the universe will get confused to which idea you want most. If you pick 1 and you put action and emotion behind it, it's going to happen. If you put 3, action and emotion behind some of them, but not all of them, they might not all happen. So really be mindful of that. Take the next minute or so and jot them down. Okay. So I'm finished. If you're not at home, again, just pause the video, take more time to kind of jot these things down. Now, it's really important that wherever you wrote these things, that you can see them. So maybe rip the page out of your journal, put it up on the mirror in the bathroom. Or you could put it in your car, on your screen of the radio. Whatever it is that you're going to see these intentions and be reminded to think about them, be reminded to have emotion behind them, and be reminded to take actions for these intentions. Now, one other tip I'm going to give you before we part. For this next 30 days, if you can just act as if you can just pretend that you're already living the life with these intentions happening, that you've already manifested these things, this is a really powerful tool. So as you're practicing, as you're moving in your body, and as you're experiencing sensations and emotions, could you put those sensations and emotions towards the belief that you've already manifested your intentions? Live your life as if you have, and then it will really happen, and much quicker than you expect. So I hope you have a beautiful journey on these next 30 days. We'll be here guiding you. Reach out to us. Put any questions you have in the comment section below. Let us know that you're with us. Let's get started.